Smash. I know. I'm way early. Just sharing this real quick. This might be fairly. How's the stream quality? Is it all right? Are we good or might? Yeah, really early, Ron. Thursdays are probably gonna be like this most weeks, just because. How's the quality? Is it all right? Just because I go and see Grandmama at the nursing home. What's up? Awesome, man. What's up, Dent? How you doing, brother? So I'm early today because, well, again, if you guys know, for the last year and a half or so since my grandmother went into the nursing home, my sister and I try to get out there and visit her every Thursday, um, and it doesn't happen every time because of, well, the state we're in and the weather, and she tells us sometimes don't drive, don't come here, it's too bad, the weather's not good, yada yada yada. So are we offline or are we good? Did I lose you guys? I don't know what's going on. We having internet problems here or something? Are you guys still there or no? Let me know if you guys are still there. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we're having such difficulties right now. It makes zero sense to me. But hopefully you guys we can get through this stream at least. Maybe it's just a weird hour, but I'm hardwired in. I don't know why we'd be having issues. So what do we got? We got a rain in here. Did we lose everybody else? Everybody else still here? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet, guys. Sorry. It's being quirky today, so I apologize. You had to reload. Yeah, so you guys just reload if you're having issues. Apparently, I went down for a minute. I do apologize. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Yeah, just reload. Okay, just reload, guys. Reload the deal. If it spins, it spins. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm hardwired into my computer. We must be having actual internet issues. So anyway, I'm going to continue to go forth. You guys, when I don't really have a certain thing we're going to look at online, I'll probably show this card. It's not this exact card, but it's pretty much the same thing, number to 50. If you guys don't already know, look me up on Twitter. It's my pinned tweet. Once we get to 1,700, I'll be doing another epic 24-hour stream with a lot of fun prizes, as well as one person will be getting this card. Basically the same thing, number to 50. It's got the exact same look. If you guys have been in my sales or auctions, it's actually always in the background on my other camera. It usually sits in the back there. So, guys, check it out. Let's try to get there. Let's make it happen by spring or summer. I would prefer to do the 24-hour stream in the spring or summer, being as I'm in Minnesota, and it's just nice then, and we can go outside a lot. We can do the daily walk vlog. We can go places, sit outside for a while, maybe at a patio, what have you, and just kind of get a full, good 24-hour stream in. All right, guys. Yeah, what's your Lamar doing on eBay? Is that yours? Is that actually yours? That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, mine is very similar to yours, so I just always pull it up. In fact, it's got the same patch style as well, but this is numbered 33 of 50, so it's 33 of 50. But anyway, if it is yours, awesome, man. It's a great card. I have one just like it that we will be giving away. So what I just kind of wanted to talk about, because I felt like we had a really good solid stream last night, kind of talking about the strength of the hobby, where the hobby is, at least in my opinion, where it's kind of gone. And I kind of wanted to use today, we could probably go forever on this, but I'm going to make it kind of a short stream. But I just want to kind of talk today about people who are new to the hobby or people who are just getting back into the hobby. And a few things that I personally would recommend or ways of going about things. First of all, if you are new or returning to the hobby, if you don't have a social media platform, whether it via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, make sure you set up one of those. Even if you're not a big fan, maybe 20 years ago you were into Facebook and you just can't stand it. I personally still can't stand Facebook. I use Twitter, but use a social media platform and create an account and start connecting or following people that are into the hobby, right? People you see. And once you connect with a few of them, you're going to find that you're going to build your community, if you want to call it your hobby community, or you're going to stretch out, you're going to network with a lot more of them. Why is that important? To me, that is important because it keeps you engaged in the hobby. It keeps you interested in the hobby. It gives you resources when you have questions. It gives you also the ability to use that platform to sell products, cards, right? One big tip I'm going to tell you that I personally use that keeps me afloat or gives me the ability to continue to be active in the hobby, purchase things, buy boxes here and there, is reselling what you don't PC, okay? Via auctions, via your social media platforms, doing thread sales. So like on Twitter, a lot of people do thread sales. What's up, Erling? Ron's back. Balls is in the house. What's going on, brother? I had to be early today because you know what day it is. It's Thursday. We're almost to Friday, and I got to go see Grandmama tonight, so I'm not going to be able to stream at my normal time. So, again, I told you guys, I will stream every single day this year from when I started. I'm not going to miss a day, and I'm going to have no excuses. So if I have to put it in earlier while I'm working, I'm going to do it. So here we are. I've done this last week, and I'm doing it again this week. But let's get back on track to what we were talking about. It's very important because you're going to find yourself getting burnt out unless you have a boat ton of money and you have money growing on trees. If you sit on everything that you purchase, it's going to make it very, very, very difficult to, I feel, continue to have interest and be engaged the way you want to be in the hobby. Okay? And what I mean by that is, product costs money. Getting into breaks costs money. All that stuff obviously costs money. I don't need to sound like the announcer Booger or whatever his name is right now. You know, guys, you got to sell stuff and work to bring money in, and that's how you're going to... But at the same time, it's simple reminders like this, because sometimes people, even though they're seeing other people out there selling or reselling cards on their threads they're on or on eBay or wherever... They kind of forget about that, right? I can't tell you how many times when I was back in the hotel, when I was basically homeless, but I had pretty much a roof almost every day over my head. I can't tell you how many times that it took me to realize that, you know what? I have a bunch of cards that I'm sitting on because I continue to still get into breaks and buy things because I had the money to, right? I just couldn't find a place to live because I had an eviction notice from years ago on my record. And people just wouldn't help me. So my best option at that time was to live in a hotel. And I stayed there for pretty much a year. Solid. But I even forgot that, hey, I got a lot of these cards that I keep getting in, and they're cards they're people I don't even PC. I don't even collect these guys. I'm not even fans of these players. And then when I would realize, hey, let me do a sale, let me do an auction, let me do whatever, then I started realizing, hey, I'm recouping some money. I'm getting some money back in here. And since then, I've made it a point to do auctions. So don't be afraid to do sport auctions. Don't be afraid to, and some people might be shy of a camera. You don't even have to show yourself, right? A lot of guys will do it with their phone and they're just seeing their hands and their cards. But use some kind of platform or platforms, what's up, the card hobbyist, to sell stuff you don't need. Breaks, yes. Smash. And that's why I'm doing this live, because I'm getting your guys' input as well, your guys' opinions, your guys' tips, so we can help anybody who watches this that's new or returning. They're looking for some information. So Smash makes a great point. Don't be afraid to take a break, right? I see too often, and I've done this myself personally, like with a certain platform like Twitter, where I get so caught up. And again, what are my 2 goals this year? What are my 2 goals in everything I do that I've said my 2 goals are this year? 1 is positivity, and 2 is consistency. In everything I do, positivity and consistency. So if I look back last year, year before, whenever, and I'm bringing this up because I catch myself often not replying or getting involved in a conversation, interaction with people online, where I see it as maybe negative or whatever. I don't get involved anymore. I keep myself out of it, whether I want to put my opinion in it or not. I just let it be. If I state something on my Twitter feed and somebody tries to point it out or try to turn it to a different angle or I'm not going to be your popcorn show. I'm not gonna sit there and interact with you. I'm gonna simply just disregard it. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm not gonna reply. I might have one reply, and it's not gonna be anything negative. It's just gonna be me replying back to what I feel. Truth, what's going on? RSR Field Guy, what's going on, man? I sell you buy. There you go. I sell you buy. Reselling is a great way and it is a great way to network. And that's another thing we need to talk about. So if you're returning or new to the hobby, when you are selling, make sure that when you're selling cards, you're selling products, if there's going to be a delay in you getting them out, like me, I let people know when they buy things. I tell them if I have an auction on a Tuesday, I tell them I will have them shipped out by Saturday, right? I give myself time. You can be a fast shipper. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually even better. That probably builds up your rapport, your reputation in the hobby even better if you're getting your stuff out right away. But if you're going to take a few days or whatever because you have things going on, just simply let people know that. So people aren't coming after you a day or 2 later saying, hey, where's my tracking number? And you're like, oh, I haven't shipped it out yet. And they're like, what? If somebody requests that they need something out right away, I will do whatever I have to do to get it out. But I will typically have everything shipped out by that Saturday. You will have, if you contact me, I can have tracking for you. Or if I have your email, it'll be in my pirate ship system. It should automatically send you a notification when it's shipped or when it's getting ready to ship. And then it updates when it does ship, when they scan it actually in at the post office or whatever. But when you're shipping the product, right? Simple things, right? Make sure cards, if they need to be penny sleeved, are penny sleeved. Make sure they have top loaders, or at least penny sleeves, depending upon how you sell it and present it. Make sure I use graded card sleeves as my team bags because I feel they work the best. And if you have a stack of cards, like this is probably too big of a stack. Well, it probably may just fit in one bag, but don't overstuff them. Don't break the bags. But put them in these bags or team bags. Make everything clean, right? Everything should be clean, as BITG would say. And another thing, when you ship the cards you sell, if I show this card like this, right? It should be shipped like this. Maybe with another stack of other cards, if there is, in a bag. But it should come this way. If you present it or show it in a one-touch, don't send it in a top loader. Don't send it in a top loader or one of these card savers. Send it the way you sell it, unless the buyer tells you otherwise. Maybe a buyer isn't into one-touches and says, hey, man, before you ship that, could you switch it to a top loader? I mean, I don't know why they would, but maybe they don't want it in there. Maybe it's a chrome face card and they feel it scratches the card. If you don't have a penny sleeve over it in the one touch, maybe they don't want it that way, right? Yes, great packing is key. Yes, it's very, very key. Packing and how you ship your stuff when you sell it is very important, right? You see all the different things on social media networks. You show the rolled, like my boy Sean Hunter, I think it's still his pinned tweet in Twitter. Cards he bought on eBay, and he just keeps unrolling. It's like a toilet paper roll. He just keeps unrolling it. It was in a package, but then it was rolled up in a bunch of toilet paper. I can commend them for trying to cushion it and pad it, but it's like a long roll, just a continuous. That's a lot of work to get to the card, you know. If you want, I know a lot of guys, what they do is they take pieces of cardboard, even though you're probably putting these in bubble mailers and whatnot already, but put cardboard on top and on bottom of the stack, and then use some painter's tape, right? Painter's tape, not Scotch tape, over the top. Why is Scotch tape such a no-no? Because it ruins the top loaders. Now again, when I had my sale on Sunday night, my auction, there were a couple cards you probably saw that had Scotch tape. Because that's how I received them. I never changed them because I'm not a big person into, if I'm selling something, to pull it out of another thing and put in another. Just like I just said, send it how you show it, right? Send the card, ship the card how you show it, okay? Another thing, if you're somebody that's looking to get hits, you're looking to get an auto, you're looking to get a relic, you're looking to get something out of it, you need... If you want the guaranteed, I'm not saying, I've seen a lot of good hits come out of retail product, and I think retail is fun to rip. I'm not bashing retail, I rip it myself. But if you're somebody who is looking for hits, you're looking for autos, you're looking for relics, if you buy hobby, the chances of you getting that, because they typically tell you there's 1 guaranteed auto or 3 guaranteed autos or 2 guaranteed autos and 2 patch cards, whatever, then that's the route you should take. Too often do I see people posting on Twitter, social media platforms, I spent $150 on 4 or 5, 6 blasters, and I got nothing. I'm a perfect example was a guy, and I don't remember who it was. I wouldn't even say names anyway, and it's fine. It's his opinion, but he bought a bunch of baseball Stadium Club blasters like last year. And he bought like 6 or 7 of them, $140. And he said, "Man, no, what's up, Tops? I spend this much money and I don't get one hit." Did any one of those boxes that he bought guarantee him a hit? No, it's retail. Again, I think retail is great to rip. I think it's fun to rip. It's affordable. You can pull monsters out of there, but there's not a guarantee that you're pulling any kind of hit, whether it's a pitcher, no-name pitcher, or what have you. There's no guarantees on any of it unless you buy hobby. And I'm going to say this almost always, because we've probably all been hit with Panini's points in the past as your hit. If you have 1 hit in a box, sometimes you might get Panini points, and sometimes you might only get 250, which won't get you very far in the Panini store. So I'm saying almost all the time, right? Again, eBay is a great source. If you're looking for a way to gauge what you want to sell cards for, how much you're going to sell, or how much you think you can sell them for, and you want to try to be fair in what they're selling for, then use eBay, right? So go to eBay. Let's pull this up here. So we can just, let's pull that back up. So if you're on eBay, and it's different on a phone, right? But if you want to see, you go to like the solds. A lot of people always talk about this, but you click over here, show only, solds, okay? And then you can get an idea, like 1 to 50, number 20 to 50, sold for $306. This is a different card. Whoops. This is a different card, different Obsidian to 50, one to the side, but $250. $500. This one was best offer, you know. So you can get a general idea. Now, another thing you need to be careful of, though, is check the dates, right? If something sold back 3 months ago when he was hot and they were still in contention of a Super Bowl, his cards are going to sell for more. You notice that? December 29th, $600. Same card number to 50. $600. And now we're like 300, 305. People asking for 450. Awesome, Gorilla Family. I appreciate you coming in, man. Thank you. Let me see if I got you. I think I do. You just might have changed your avatar. Maybe? Yes, I do already have you. I just want to make sure I check on my people. What's up, Tom T? Big Harv's in the house. Mega. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. I hope I didn't miss anybody. RSR's in the house. This The Breaks is here. Fig, Erling. Good to see you guys. All right. So, again, back to this. So, we can do this with any card, right? Right? This, you can get an idea. But you're going to find out. And here's another key. On selling, when is the best time to sell a card? If the player is hot and it's in the season of the sport, the player is hot, that's the best time to sell the card, right? If you're trying to move baseball cards right now, you're going to be able to move them. You're going to be able to sell them. But you're going to probably sell them if that specific player or those players start playing better or get hot. The energy around them, the hype around them, the demand for them gets higher. So you're obviously going to sell more. Perfect example was that Lamar Jackson Obsidian. Right back in December, end of December, you were looking at $600 to sell that card because they were in playoffs, right? They had a top seed. People thought they were going to be Super Bowl bound. Lamar Jackson is going to be MVP. He might be MVP of the Super Bowl. Like, bam, I want to buy a card like that. I want to own a card like that. And you can see how quick that 600 turns to 300. So, knowing the best time to sell your cards as well, certain cards, is a big deal. I'm going to unload a few Patty Mahomes rookies right before the Super Bowl. There you go, brother. That's not a bad thing because he's hot right now, right? So, that Truth's got the right mentality there. So, Patty Mahomes, not thinking he's going to have a bad Super Bowl game, but if he doesn't quite do it, right? If he maybe doesn't have a great game, he's still going to be popular. He's still not going to lose that popularity, but his card value is probably going to change quite a bit from right before Super Bowl and right after Super Bowl. Now, at the same time, Truth sells him right before that. Truth's still going to come out okay regardless, right? Because it's before the game. But now if Patty Mahomes goes and wins the Super Bowl and he wins MVP of the Super Bowl as well, then, you know, whoever buys them from him is probably going to get a little bit more of an edge as well as far as the value, right? So, yeah, it's total gamble. I mean, guys, baseball cards, basketball, football cards, hockey cards, whatever cards you collect, it's no different than a stock market in a sense, right? The value of them goes up and down. And guys, don't use Beckett as a resource because nobody does. Use eBay Solds as your main source to figure out what kind of price to put on what kind of value. Here's another thing, and I used to be bad about doing this. If you're posting cards on social media platforms via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what have you, make sure you guys put a price on. Put a certain price or best offer if you're not sure what price you want to put on there, right? So, let's just say this Bowman, 2011 Bowman Giraffe Mike Trout. Okay, you go check, like 120. I didn't even look at solds yet, did I? Did we look at, oh, these are solds. Okay, so 120, so maybe, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sell this card for, I'm going to start at 95 or 100 or 110 or 115. Put that on there. Put that with OBO. Another thing, and I used to be bad about that. I used to put best offer or make an offer. So many people don't like that. And what ends up happening is people might be smart Alex and they might just waste your time. And it might be $100 card and they might send you a DM or they might comment on it and go, oh, $10? $10 shipped? You're going to get a lot of wasted time out of it. Don't be afraid to price your card or cards. And shout out to Balls, and shout out to probably other people that have done this, but I see Balls Field guy, I'm not a fan. If you want to do that, I'm not a fan of that. I know that gets the hobby connector involved, but even the original OG hobby connector, Ryan Yancey, is against that. I know it gets the hobby connector involved, but it oversaturates the thing if you're just putting that in there without a price. It oversaturates the feed, the line feed. I mean, that's just my opinion. You got your way of you thinking doing it, but even Yancey, the OG hobby connector himself, has went on a rant recently about the new hobby connector and all that with that, doing that so it brings them in and tags them into the feed. Yes, it brings more exposure, it does whatever, but it also overloads it because you're getting cards that are not even priced. They just have 0.1 cent. If you have it priced properly and whatever, and you do that, I'm cool with that. But if you're not pricing something and you're just putting 0.1 so it gets them in the feed, and you still are doing make a best offer, I don't agree with it personally. But another thing, guys, like if you're on Twitter, I'm not a fan of tagging players in anything personally. I personally see it a little tacky because they're probably not going to ever respond to you. They're probably not ever going to whatever. Most of the time, it's not even the player that runs their social media. It's a PR person that does it for them. But I am a fan of tagging organizations, teams specifically, if you're trying to sell stuff. Because you don't have all the Angels fans, sports fans for we'll never tag though. That's what I'm saying. It's tacky. You will not have all them in your as followers or whatever. So what does tagging the organization or even at MLB do? It brings it to more people's feeds. More people see it. So your chance of selling it, the ability to sell it, is going to be much greater. Selling is so easy. Why make it so? Field guy, it might be easy for you, but it's not easy for a lot of people. Do you know how many people I see constantly tweeting on Twitter or wherever going, I don't know why, man. I just can't ever sell anything. And they may not be able to sell anything because of the things we're talking about. They're putting make an offer, not pricing it, not doing things properly. That's where they're failing. So, again, you may have success in doing it because you're probably doing it the right way. But this is why we're talking about this. It's for the people that struggle or have an issue or have a problem doing it and can't do it properly. Truth seekers, I'm going to send a group of grading, then reveal. I'll let you know. Cool. Too many shill bidders. I prefer buy it now or best offer. There you go. And Mega. And another thing, I use eBay and use the sold listings to get price or gauge on things. I don't sell much on eBay, and I think it's a great tool. I'm not dodging it. The only issue I have with is how many fees are involved when you sell on their site. They just take at the end of the day when you take eBay and PayPal, I mean, you're what, 10-14% is what they're taking, versus if you just try to do it yourself. What's up, Tom? See you later, brother. Thanks for popping in. I don't do all the crap. I only retweet my tweets on Twitter and need everyone in their uncle look at a failure that the people who are trying to draw attention themselves by making pity. Yeah, I get it. Selling on eBay is time consuming. It is very time consuming. You know, a shout out to anybody who has a store that has 20,000 cards listed on it, and some of them are probably dollar cards, $2 cards, whatever. I don't see why they wouldn't do something like we just did the other night with a lot of those cards and just do a big live $1, $2, maybe even do it in different sequences. You know, we're going to do a bunch of dollar cards. I'm going to have stacks of $2 cards. I'm going to have stacks of $3 cards and just sell through them. So much quicker. Yeah, and then you're eliminating those fees. So that's another thing that I talked about before. When you're selling, the different platforms you're selling on, via auctions on YouTube, which are free, right? Besides you paying the PayPal fee or whatever fee you're going to be, whatever you're going to be using to make the transaction as far as the money exchange, that's the only fee you're going to have to run into, right? What else do you guys got? I wish there was another platform. Yeah, there's Comac, there's eBay. I don't know. I could probably talk about it because I don't know that we're gonna do it anymore. But me and Lance and Joel actually were creating another platform, kind of like eBay, where it was gonna be like a zero fee type thing, and we were gonna try to utilize the site as, like for ad platform. People that wanted to advertise, like for the hobby and stuff, breakers, what have you. And it would be the same kind of thing. You would have a profile, you would set it up. It was called eHobby. It would have been eHobby. What's up, Jake? Good to see you, brother. We're just gonna probably be wrapping it up here in a minute. But what else you guys got? Oh, and the other thing too that we talked about a lot yesterday is kind of balancing out your. Put yourself on a budget, first of all, for cards. Give yourself a budget of how much you're wanting or you have the ability to spend in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month, what have you. Stick to that budget. Utilize selling stuff that you get that you don't care for out of boxes and packs you buy, out of breaks you get into, what have you, and utilize that back. And maybe if you want to put more for this week, because I sold more cards, it's managing your hobby bankroll, if you will. Kind of like us DFS players. We have our bankroll, managing our bankroll, where we only try to play a certain dollar amount each night. And the ultimate goal we're trying to do is we're trying to come ahead 4 out of the 7 nights of the week, right? If we play daily, like basketball, baseball, so that we come ahead. And hopefully one of those times or 2 of those times we hit big. Like I got lucky this last football season, that big win. And then that's a big payday for us. But spreading it out. So again, if you're looking for actual hits, you're going to have to either buy hobby boxes, and this is not guaranteed either, but getting into breaks. We talked a lot about people I prefer breaking with, main ones, and I break with other people. Don't think that those are the only guys I ever get into breaks with or I break. No, I get in with a lot of the breakers. Those are the ones you'll just constantly see me get into, that I break with almost daily or every couple days or whatever. And maybe even get yourself on some kind of, like, get a schedule. Like, if you start selling stuff, whether, what's cool is some of these guys do this weekly stack sale on, like, Twitter, or, like, DMN Takeover. He's got his thing. Maybe have a schedule. I think my boy Dan even brought this up in his own thing, talking about consistency. About showing up and being there, like me. Like if I tell you I'm doing my card auction the second Tuesday of every month, and before when I was doing it every Tuesday before, showing up, right? Unless something comes up, and letting people know about it. But show up when you say you're going to be there. Do it when you're going to do it. You're going to continue to build a better audience, a better community. People are going to look forward to it, right? They look forward to it. I have some people tell me, and it makes me feel great, that they look forward to my daily streams. Whether everybody loves them or hates them. Some people tell me they look forward to my daily stream. They can't wait. Breaks should be posted live, I believe. Mega thinks that breaks should be posted live. That's interesting, and yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it depends on really what you're doing. If you're selling pick your team breaks, especially like a case break or something, unless you have 50, 60, 80 people in at all times and there's a lot of big spenders, if you're trying to sell spots for case breaks, PYT, you're going to have teams that are $150, $300, $500, certain teams. Sitting there on stream trying to fill them might get a little difficult. Now, if it's random divisions, it's random teams, and it's all, and again, that all depends on how many people they have showing up and how many people are in there and available to buy things. So I appreciate you, Gorilla family. Thank you, man. It means a lot to me. It really does. So, And just shout out to everybody that's reached out to me in the last couple of days. Because of you guys, it really gives me the push to want to continue doing this, even though I'm doing it regardless. But it's good to get good feedback back, and it's actually even good to have some people, if they have, you know, some type of constructive criticism. It's all good, man. It's all good to me. You know, I always one of my things I tweeted out today is one of your greatest fans is your greatest haters, and I think it's so true because if they have enough to bash you about, then that means they're paying attention to you. Why are they paying attention to you if they're not a fan of yours? Kind of goes together hand in hand, right? It all makes sense. So, got you on while I ship on. I appreciate it, Mindy. Shout out to Rippin' Gypsy in the house. Thank you again for the spot. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, JT got a spot. He was trying to get into a break with BITG, and he apparently didn't get in, so I gave him one of my spots, and he ended up, they were doing the 2020 archives, and he hit a nice Tatis in the spot. So shout out to JT. It was pretty cool of him to actually, he emailed me this morning. I think I already went to bed. I didn't even see it, and he's like, showed me the picture of the card and said, hey, man, this was your spot. Do you want it? You want the card? And I said, no, man, that was your spot. That's your card. I don't expect it. Anybody that would expect it, I would think would have some kind of something wrong with them. That's the spot that was given to you. You hit it, so no need for it. You need to sing more during your auctions, like when you did. You sing more? I can sing more, absolutely. Yeah, I can, it all depends on how I'm feeling, honestly. To do this every day gets draining, guys. Even if it's for a half hour or 45 minutes a day, it's draining. Like, the hardest part of streaming is hitting the live button, getting the energy to hit the live button. And again, I told you guys, no excuses. Like, I'm here, I'm on at 12 o'clock because I can't make my normal time and I'm still getting it in. Even though I prefer to not be live for at least 24 hours or around 24 hours to let the algorithm for YouTube work properly, I still do it because I have to, right? Because I told you guys it's one of my goals, and I'm gonna use that Mamba mentality and get through this and do this. So even when I go on vacation this spring, summer, you'll get a stream from me every day. Maybe you'll get some live IRL, whatever it'll be. There's gonna be a lot of different things going on this spring, summer. I'm planning to travel quite a bit if I can. So you guys will be joining me. So it'll be a good excuses like buttholes. Yeah, it's just like there's another word for that too, Truth. It's opinions are like assholes. There's plenty of them, right? So I appreciate y'all, all you guys, man. I'm going to close it up here. I think that was kind of a good little gist. Again, we could sit here and talk forever. One other thing I wanted to add too, and this may have veered off people that were watching when we got kind of off track, but one other thing too is, especially if you're just starting in or you're getting back into it and you just starting to get cards coming in again, organization is huge, right? So getting card boxes, maybe finding somebody that makes custom team things, organizing by players, by teams, whatever. Try to keep it organized. Try to keep it all like that, because that's really, honestly, at the end of the day, that's going to help you a lot, especially when you're trying to sell stuff and people are asking you, hey, do you have a certain player? Do you have this card? At least you can go to the team and you can search down and look and see if you can find it and make it, instead of going through, I have 30 shoe boxes, top loaders, and what penny sleeve cards, like, oh yeah, I know I have some of his cards, but here, give me 2 hours to go through all my cards if I don't find it right away. So another thing to think about there. So hey, I appreciate all you guys popping in. We actually had 20 people in at one time for at noon. That's amazing. So I appreciate every one of you. I'm gonna get back to work as well. I love y'all. Keep that positivity flowing. Keep that consistency going. And hell, why don't we just keep growing? Love y'all. Peace and love.